Alright, what is up YouTube? Time for another arena run here. We are going to do priest, looks like. We've done the other classes, so I want to get a priest run in
I won't let you down.
before this is over. I plan to do every class, and then I will go back and do some of the other classes again. So maybe like more mage runs or some other specific runs that I kind of want to get better at. But anyway, Light of Naru. It's a pretty good card. Light Warden's a pretty strong card if you can heal a lot. Battlecry effect is generally a good card. Dragon tends to be okay. It's pretty much a 1-mana 2/1, which is mediocre. It can be a 1-mana summon 2/1/1 or 2/2/1s, which is decent. But Matter Bomber is a good card, so stick with that. Powered Shield over these two cards, I think so. Alright, Shadow Word Death as a removal. Yeah. Alright, 3 cards here. Gargoyle tends to be very bad. Explosive Sheep is a good removal card, but I suppose Salty Dog is a very nice drop. Well, it's not like super nice, but it's something. It's a big guy. Okay, Mind Blast, probably not that good. Raging Worgen or Mind Vision. This is a tough one. Raging Worgen tends to be very bad. Any card that's like a 3-mana 3/3 is not usually that good. Basically because you're not really getting any benefit. Like, it's a 3-mana 3/3 without any benefits. If it gets enraged, it becomes very strong. But you gotta understand that it's very hard to like enrage the class. Excuse me. It's very hard to enrage the creature. By priest, I mean I have nothing to enrage it with. Maybe Matter Bomber, but that's about it. But it is a drop, and Mind Vision tends to be very put a copy of a random card. So yeah, this tends to be a very situational card. So I'm gonna go with Raging Worgen here. Okay, so Healbot is a great card. This is tends to be a very bad card. Again, we have a 3-mana card. We're only getting 2/3 worth of stats. We get a Wind Fury effect, but you know, best case scenario, this is a 4/3 for 3 mana, kind of. A little bit better with Wind Fury. It can be a little bit worse, but for the most part, that's what it is. And this is a okay drop. As we saw, this is kind of an underwhelming drop, so I think I'm gonna go with the Healbot here. Okay, so Tinkertown, we have a mech. That's about it. Hungry Dragon tends to be pretty strong, and Nightblade tends to be pretty underwhelming. So I think I'm gonna go with Hungry Dragon here. It's a very solid 4. Okay, so Mask the Spell can be very useful. You get a card and you get to silence all minions. This can tend to turn games around if your enemy has a very strong board that relies on things like getting buffed. So Ancient Mage is generally pretty poor. I mean, a 4-mana 2/5 is super weak. The spell damage it's going to give us is probably not going to matter. Priest doesn't have a lot of cards that synergize with spell damage, except for like Holy Nova, but yeah, not very good. Summoning Pint Size is an underwhelming card. We do need some drops, but I think we can get better than Pint Size. Master Spell it is. And here we go. As we found out, Crusher is generally a 6-mana 6/6. It's tempting to think this could be really good, but honestly, if your opponent has 15 or less health, half their health is gone, and they're about to die. They're generally about to die. They're rarely on 15 when you play this card. So they're usually below 10 when you play this card. Which means they're about to die, which means you know, it just tends to be very underwhelming to play this card. It's a 6-mana 6/6. You might as well bet, you know, it's not as good as Ogre. You know, 6-mana 6/6 isn't bad, but it's just not really that good either. So we want a big guy in our hand, but we want some little guys too, and we don't have any 2s yet. Silvermoon Guardian is a mediocre card. I think we're gonna go with Trog here. Alright, so right away we got some great cards. Defender of Argus tends to be excellent, but so is Sludge Belcher. They're both these are both fantastic cards. Alchemist is also a very solid card, but when you look at Sludge Belcher or Defender, it's not as good. So Kind of want some force here, but Sludge Vulture is just an awesome card. You can play on turn 5. It's just, yeah. Sludge it is. Okay, another Hungry Dragon, Spiteful Smith, or a Cogmaster. I think we're gonna go with, we have some 5s already, so I think we're gonna go with Hungry here. Cogmaster would be great, except we have nothing to really synergize with, so yeah. Okay, so Holy Smite, good early game removal. Tall Strider's a solid 4, and Patriarch is generally a very bad card for a 3-drop. So I think we'll go with Holy Smite here. We need some early stuff. This is a good removal card. Yeah. Okay, Wolf Rider, Lord, or Silverback. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a big guy here. Silverback is not really worth considering. It's just so underwhelming. Wolf Rider is also pretty boring. It's a removal card basically. We have a 3-drop. We don't have too many 3s, but Lord is just a better option, so. Okay. Celestia is not going to be activated because of the lack of weapons. Darkscale Healer is an okay card. Basically a Yeti for 1 more mana. You get to heal stuff. Frost Elemental is a okay 6. It freezes. So I think it's between Frost and Darkscales actually. I don't want to play this card just because it's a 1 mana 2/1. It's basically like a Murloc Raider. But you know we need some 1-drops, so I think we'll go with Frost here. Frost is, yeah. Alright, Temple Enforcer, very solid card. Gold Shower Footman tends to be very bad. Flesh Eater also tends to be very bad. Yeah. There it is. Shadow Word Pain, early game removal card. These versus 2 pretty bad cards. I would choose the Bluegill over the Puddle Stomper. Yeah. Pain is good. Okay, so we have a very good 2. Our lack of minions here kind of makes me want to take Unstable, just because, you know, Flesh Eating is very bad. It does have some synergy with Raging, although that's very minor point. Mech Warp is probably not going to get any synergy here. It is a better card than the Unstable Goal most of the time. But we could use Taunts. We've got 2 Taunts already. Unstable Goal is nice, just to kind of have that slow removal card. Unstable or Mech Warper? Mech Warper tends to be very solid. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's go with Unstable here. Alright, so here we go. We got a very good 3-drop. This is a class-specific Naxxramas Priest card. When it dies, gives something 3 health. That's very strong. 3 mana 3/4 is good by itself. Even without the Death Rattle, it's still a very good card. This is a not so good card. It's got 1 less attack. Potential to become stronger, but we have to have a dragon. We don't have a dragon. Stormpike is it's not a terrible card. You know, you see a lot of higher level players pick this card. It's not a bad card, especially when you have less ideal targets, you know, less ideal picks. But since we do have a Dark Cultist, we're going to pick the Dark Cultist over this card. Okay, so we have 2 dragons and a Mass Dispel. So basically we have 2 mana, 2 creatures that cost 4 mana. But you look at our 2 slots here, and we have 2 creatures that cost 2 mana. So a Raging Worgen is not going to be so good here. So we're going to pick the Croc, I think. Okay, so here we go. Legendary time. Or epic, I'm sorry, epic time. Sea Giant is for each other minion on the battlefield. This tends to be very good in against like an aggro, like whether you're playing aggressive or if the enemy has a lot of stuff on the board. This is a very strong card. Blood Knight is also very good, as we've seen. There's a lot of Divine Shields in Arena, just because Divine Shields tend to be harder to get rid of in Arena for some reason, just because people don't have the ideal combos. So Junkbot is just terrible. Never pick this card. It's so situational. We have no mechs to synergize besides Healbot, so it's a very terrible card. But Blood Knight and Sea Giant are both very good cards. Blood Knight is going to be a little bit more playable, or a lot more playable. It's a 3-mana 3/3 in the worst situation, which is basically what Raging Worgen is going to be most of the time. Sea Giant, though, although unplayable in some situations, is still extremely powerful. Worst case scenario with Priest, you get to late game and you play him as an 8/8 for 10 mana. Very inefficient, but still playable. I think we're going to go Sea Giant here. Okay. And as Priest, we generally want to slow the game down anyway, because we win late game most of the time. Our cards are generally very good. Our hero abilities tends to outvalue other people's just because we can heal not only ourselves, but our own minions. So, yeah, it's very solid. Inner Fire is a great little burst card if you have a powerful minion. Judging by our minions, though, we don't have too many that are going to benefit from this. In fact, we only have a couple, particularly there's only a few cards that have less attack than they have of HP, so I think we're going to stick with Temple here. Divine Spirit is also probably a little bit better of a card, because this often lets the card trade into something else and live, so it's kind of like a Blessing of Kings, kind of, not really. And it does similar role for cheaper, so... No, I think we want Temple Enforcer. Temple Enforcer is just very solid. Like, I'd say Divine Spirit's good, but it's kind of situational. So here we got a Silence, a Heal, and a Mind Blast. Now, Mind Blast, I don't really like in Priest. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't do anything to the board. It doesn't kill minions at all. It only does 5 damage. Priest, you're not really worried about bursting someone down because you're control-ish. You're going to be controlling the board, and you want to get to that late game, where Priest does really well. So having a bursty card that can be played for damage, but not really that necessary, I think most of the time this is bad. Voodoo Doctor is a very underwhelming card, so we're going to go with Spellbreaker here. Yeah. Okay, Boulder Fist Ogre is next. Boulder Fist, excellent 6-drop. MechWarper is a very good 2-drop. And as you can see, we're 22 cards in. This will be a 23rd card. We are lacking in the 2-drop department, and we have 3 6-drops already. Now, Ogre is a very good card, though, so it's really hard to pass up Ogre. So I think we're going to go with Ogre here. And really, we want to get some more 2-drops, but Ogre is such a solid card, so... Alright, right away we get an excellent 1-drop. Mad Scientist, no secrets. Ironbeak Owl. Silence is useful, but the 1-drop here is just too good to pass up. Circle of Healing. Good card, nothing to combo with. Holy Nova, good removal. And Twilight Whelp, pretty bad card. So. Okay. Dark Cultist. I love Dark Cultist. Just for the stats and for the Death Rattle, that's also good. Anti-Killbot, very good card. We have not too much healing, but Stone Splinter is a good card because it's a 2-drop. But I think we're gonna go with Dark Cultist here. Now, okay, so Stormwind, good card. Raid Leader is a terrible card. Lost Tall Strider is also a good card. We need some early game. Let's go with Tall Strider. Okay, Silence, Volcanic, or Stone. The problem with Silence is it's just a tech card. It's purely tech. It does nothing to really alter the game at all. It just kind of silences minions, which is not a bad thing. Having a 0-mana silence is very useful sometimes. But Volcanic Drake can be very good when it's not played on 6 mana. Now, we don't have a lot of little stuff this game. I'm kind of worried because we don't have a lot of early game. So, Volcanic Drake, there's nothing to really play it with. You know, like, we don't have a lot of stuff that's going to die and then get good value out of it. We already have a bunch of 6-drops, so we're going to go with Stone Tusk Boar, I think. Even though... Silence or Stone Tusk? I'll go silence. Boar is just so underwhelming. Okay. Yeti or Panther it comes down to. Voodoo Doctor I'm not really going to consider. It's not a very good card. It's actually quite bad. I mean, it is early game, so it's got that going for it. Panther, we already have some good 3s. Yeti, we could use a good 4-drop. Okay. Alright, so Sapper, Bomb Lobber, or Cold Light Seer. Generally, you do not want to consider Cold Light Seer in Arena. It's just such a bad card. So it's really between Sapper and Lobber here. For 5-drops, we have quite a few 5s, right? Well, 1, 2, 3, we have 4. We have 4 5s. Bomb Lobber tends to be very strong because the 4 mana, the 4 damage will often kill something when you play it. And yeah. Sapper, the 4 attack in Arena is very situational. It's not very good. So pretty much just a 3 mana 2/4. We'll go with Bomb Lobber. Okay, so we have some great late game. Plenty of late game. We have a couple early game cards. We got the Shadow or Pain and Death, which is always nice to have. We have some very solid 4-drops, some good 5s, and some great late game. Problem is we don't have any early game, so we got like Zombie Chow, Croc, Stone Splinter, Unstable Goal. That's about it. So getting to this late game is going to be tough. With that said, if we can get to late game, we can generally win. So we will try to Malogan until we get decent hands, and yeah. I'm gonna guess, let's go 5 wins this deck. Double Priest.
The light shall bring victory. The light shall burn you.
Double Priest, here we go. Okay, keep the silencer. Priests generally have pretty minions that rely on getting buffed. So, got a pretty good start for our deck. It's a pretty good start. We'll see which priest has a better late game. When it comes to late game, it's kind of just about who can get the most value. And I guess we'll find out. Do we have a better value out of our deck? Now this is a good tempo play here. I could heal this, but healing for 1, not playing this card, it just doesn't feel like very good play.
The damned stand ready.
So Dark Cultist. As we've seen, this is a very strong card. River Croc? I think so.
Yeah!
Even though this will hurt our own guy, I'm not too worried about that so much.
I must consider.
Ooh, silence. Okay. So you want a 4-drop. That's not a 4-drop, but we do have an answer.
Yeah!
Okay, so let's go ahead and kill that. And kill the Gamma Goat. We have a good 6-drop, so we can hang on until turn 6. We should be in pretty good shape. Ew, Shredder. Silence is going to be very good here. I kind of want to silence this guy and then send these 2 things in here, just so he doesn't can't heal with this guy, but is it worth silencing this thing? I think it is.
Yeah!
That's a tough decision. I think. If I silence it and then kill this, I'm guaranteed to have this guy out of the way. I'm missing out on 3 damage by not doing this, but I think this is the correct play. That felt like overkill, and I'm missing out on damage. But if I let that guy live, he can kill something, and then he can heal him, and then I'll have to kill him, and then I don't know. It just kind of felt like a bad play to let this guy live. So. Plus, denying that death rattle effect is very strong. The only thing I just I don't want to lose tempo, but I do have a really good 6-drop. So, and him not being able to play anything here means this is going to be even better. Okay. Now, 4-8 Eddie here. It's gonna be very difficult for him to get rid of.
I must consider.
So we're in a very good spot. We can kill his stuff and then heal at the same time. So we will go ahead and do that. It's a pretty good Holy Nova. Against Priest, it's probably as good as a Holy Nova as we're gonna get. So kill this. Kill this. Kill that. Bring this up to 4 HP. Or 6 HP, rather.
Power flows through me.
Oh my gosh. It's very strong. Hopefully we draw our silence card. No silence. Now we could send both guys in here. That may be the play, just because I don't know how else we're going to deal with it. Plus we have 2 more guys to play here. I guess we'll play this first. If we're going to send both these guys in, might as well lower it. Like, the dream would be to get 4 damage on this guy. And then we don't have to waste our Yeti killing it. So.
Did someone say mom?
4 damage. 4 damage. We can do it. One more. Aw. Okay. So, we do have to send both guys in. And that sucks. Yeah.
The damned stand ready.
That kind of sucks. But if you look at it, let's look at it in a different perspective. He spent 2 cards, right? He spent his Valen's Chosen, and he spent his Dragon. So we basically spent 2 cards, killing 2 cards. Not terrible. It's even value. Valen's Chosen is a very, very strong card. I wish I would have drafted one, but unfortunately we didn't get it. That tends to be an excellent card in Priest. So there's another one. Look at that. We got 2. Look at that value. That's insane. Just it's tough. Oh my gosh, but we got Master Spell. So we have 3 silences in our deck. Very good. Even buff this guy.
My fate is sealed.
Okay. That top deck might have saved us.
Let me change your mind.
Oh no. Shadow. He's got really good cards in his deck. He's got Cabell, Shadow Priest, which tends to be a very, very strong priest card. Okay, so we have answers for both his stuff he just played.
My fate.
And this is at 3 HP, which is above the Holy Nova Strike. However, it is worth noting that these guys died to Light Bomb, which he could potentially hold in his hand, although it's unlikely because he already has an Epic. Oof. That's scary. A 7-14. Very scary. Alright, and nothing to stop this guy. So what we'll have to do is give this guy a taunt, looks like. And hopefully that'll buy us a turn.
My fate is sealed.
As we sort of whack his face. And hope to get...
Job's done.
Hope he doesn't have Shadow or Pain. Hope that we can just kill this guy. He's got to kill all this stuff, actually. Which may be kind of hard for him to do. If you give this guy taunt, we're going to have a serious problem. So we'll see what he does. But he may not have taunt, so... Judging by that play, he does not.
You have been.
Alright, GG.
Right shall bring victory.
Okay, I'm gonna toss these two cards. Hungry Dragon is our 4-drop, which is... we got a lot of 4-drops, but... Yeah, we got a 3. Great. We really, really want a 2-drop in our hand to start with. Hopefully we'll draw one before... on our turn here. Perfect. So we have a nice 2, 3, 4 curve. That's going to be pretty useful. So as some of you may have realized, that top deck from last game, that Mass Dispel, that may have won us the game, and I'm fairly confident it did, but it's an interesting play by the mage.
No stupid.
Got an easy turn 2 play. Now I'm not sure why he did this. Maybe he has some kind of strategy with it.
The damned stand ready.
Generally when you play this card, you want to have something to play it with, so it doesn't just die for basically nothing. But maybe his turn 1, you know, I don't know. It's not a terrible play, but usually you want something to play this with, so it's not just 2 cards you can't really use. So we aren't afraid of duplicate here. We are kind of afraid of Mirror Entity,
My fate is sealed.
which means I don't think we're gonna play a guy here. I think we are slow enough to the point where we can go... Well, this is an excellent card to get. This is not so good of a card to get, but it's still a reasonable card.
I must consider.
Not playing a guy in curve here could end up badly for me. But obviously we can't play the Hungry Dragon because not only does it give him a really strong card, but also it doesn't give him the Battlecry effect, which is what makes this card bad. So giving him a Tall Strider here is, I'm going to say reasonable, even though there's better cards to give him. So At least this Tall Strider can theoretically be dealt with. So, unfortunately we are not mage, so we cannot deal 1 damage, which means this guy's going to kill this guy, and then he's also going to get another kill here. Which really sucks, to be honest with you. However, this... if he kills this, the Death Rattle will proc, which means he gets 3 health. So, hard to say. Theoretically, we kill this guy over 2 turns.
What to do?
Theoretically. If he doesn't have some kind of removal card. That was a pretty good secret, though.
Stop to that.
Holy Nova? Yeah. Okay, so... could play this here.
I can fix anything.
Yeah, perfect. Alright, and this... oh, this can't die. It's a good card. So this is guaranteed to trade into this because of the kill there. That's a shame. Oh well. It's not worth wasting a smite on the Cogmaster. It's kind of that'd be overkill. Ooh, plus 2 FC Giant. Okay, so I guess we just wait. Now, Mask the Spell. I don't know about this card. I think it tends to be pretty strong.
Get behind me.
Considering all the cards that rely on other cards. Okay, so we've got enough to play the Hungry Dragon here and heal. But we don't have enough to play the Hungry Dragon and heal and use the Smite. Okay, that's a pretty good card for him. Now, it's worth noting that this card tends to be very bad, but in this situation it actually worked pretty well for him. But a 4 mana 2/5 is pretty bad in general. Okay, so I think we're gonna just play the Sea Giant here. I don't think there's a reason to play any other card. Go ahead and kill that thing off. Okay, so Flame Strike gets me here, but that doesn't. So if it's duplicate and he gets 2 Panthers, am I okay with that? I think I am, but let's give him a Crocolisk in case it's Mirror. It's not Mirror, so it's probably duplicate. They tend to run duplicate in their decks, so I'm okay with him getting 2 Jungle Panthers here. That's fine. It's probably better than other cards he could have gotten in his deck, so let's buff this guy out of the Flame Strike range. And it's turn 8, so he can't Flame Strike and Fireball that. He just has to Flame Strike. Probably not something he's going to want to do. This guy's managed to soak up 2 spells so far. It's very good. We'll see what happens. Ooh, the water Ellie. Scary. Okay, so he's opting for a slow kill over time here. I don't want to load up my board too badly against Flame Strike. But I do want to kill this thing. If I get this guy, he turns to 8 HP. Goes down to 3. Okay. So, theoretically this dies to Flame Strike. Anyway. I can heal this out of Flame Strike range. So he's basically got to choose between this one or this one. Obviously he choose the 8-5 instead of the 5-5, but oh well, we still got 2 guys. Yeah, we get a guy. That's fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and give this guy some HP. And Flame Strike number 2 is possible. We don't really need to play 6, 7, 8, but it's probably not likely. It could happen. Nah, so what if it does?
The gates are open.
So if he has the second Flame Strike, he probably just wins the game. And that, I don't know what to say. That's very strong. But there's the card we gave him. Okay, so Mass the Spell will turn out to be a pretty good card here. And we can even juggle it so that it doesn't die. Oh, I mean, it technically will die to hero ability, but still.
Give me a quest.
Pay attention, class.
I'm not sure why he did that. I was kind of interested to let this guy float. Okay, so Holy Nova here kills the Panther, brings this guy down to a 2-2, and brings her down to a 3-3. It also lets us kill their stuff off without losing anything if we choose to do that. So, okay, and we can choose not to lose anything. If we don't, by choosing that, we are making ourselves a little bit more vulnerable. But we'll kill that with the pain, I guess. Okay, so we are looking very solid here. A Flame Strike will not save him.
You win.
So, GG.